no stepping stones, no broken promises, no busy tones. Just what it takes, just make believe.
Good morning, everybody. This is The Lead Live. I'm Louis Amestoy from the Peterson Health Digital Studio here at Pint and Plow Brewing Company. The Lead Live is brought to you by these many great sponsors: K-Pub, Safe, Reliable, and yours. Gibson's Discount Center. Ken Stopel Ford. Go buy a Bronco. Janelle Peralt, JP Properties, and SLS Partnership. Embrace the opportunity to excel. And the Herring Print Company. Also, Jody Tillman, New Fed Mortgage. And our guys here today, that's right, these guys are here today. What are their names again? Gilbert and Andrew? They're here. They're with Texas Hill Country Advisors. Leslie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right.
Good.
We made it through the weekend.
We did.
I'm trying to think of what else I have to deal with. There's so many other businesses that we've got. I saw that, let me see here. I saw that this morning that Gibson's has got a bunch of new merchandise. So go over to Gibson's. I still think the best thing, though, is Doug giving away or selling bibs.
I agree.
I mean, that's really one of the finest things ever.
Truly.
So, he's got a lot of stuff over there at Gibson's. Don't forget to come by at Pint and Plow today. They have lunch. It's going to be another beautiful day. Wasn't yesterday fabulous?
Yesterday was a beautiful day.
Howard Freeman's here. Howard, how was your day yesterday?
Oh, it was sunny like everyone else's day.
It was
beautiful.
It was a gorgeous
short
day.
Sleeve T-shirt day. I wore my PAX T-shirt, actually.
PAX T-shirt day.
I wore my PAX T-shirt.
Yeah, I actually wore short sleeves yesterday. So, what did you wear, Andrew? Did you wear Lycra?
I wore I wore outdoor gear.
Yeah.
I went on the trail. I ran outside yesterday. It was
Wore his
amazing.
best mesh.
I ran 4 miles in the middle of the afternoon.
That's
yesterday.
amazing.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. I'm so happy that you did that because it was 81 degrees yesterday, approximately. It was 80.1 degrees yesterday.
I didn't know we hit that.
Yeah. The National Weather Service says it'll be temperatures will be in the high 70s to low 80s throughout the week. So we're reaching a point in American history where protests are going to be a thing on Wednesday. Apparently, there is a call for 50 marches on 50 capitals. So I suspect that we'll see that in Austin on Wednesday.
I saw today was supposed to be a day without an immigrant.
Day without an immigrant.
Some people were calling for immigrants not to go to school or work or to purchase anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive. Yeah, there it is. Yesterday, I was going through the Homeland Security, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement page. And here's what's wrong with this whole thing, right? They go to Philadelphia, right? And they decided this is a good idea to run a press release on this. And they arrest 7 guys from a car wash. And they were being labor exploited, right? And all they do is talk about how they arrested these guys, right? They didn't talk about how they arrested the owners of the place. That never got mentioned. But they were like, ICE, Philadelphia, bust 7 people for
Working at a car wash.
Working at a car wash. I mean, like, I'm sure the fentanyl they're passing into that place is pretty profound, I guess. I don't know. But 7 guys got arrested for working in a car wash. But are they going to prosecute the owner of the business? Probably not. And that's my whole problem with this whole thing. So, anyway. It was a busy weekend, actually. Governor Abbott, I'm just going to tell you right now, he's exhausting me. Because he's all about woke, DEI. We're going to ban DEI. He's probably one of the biggest hypocrites around. Because, it used to be back in the day that a guy in a wheelchair didn't have a chance of winning an election. I mean, FDR, arguably one of the greatest presidents in American history, had to hide it because they were worried about what it would look. And it took a lot of years of inclusion and equity and diversity to say, you know what, a person in a wheelchair is handy capable. And that is something that I think that he doesn't seem to understand. That's part of the deal, because not only it's inclusion and diversity and equity, it's also accessibility. And we've worked really hard in this country to make sure that people who have disabilities are included and have accessibility to these things.
Well,
But,
and there's still like a lot of work to be done
Right.
on that too.
I mean, he's also the guy that won't let people sue other people if something happens, like if you go out running in the middle of a hurricane and have a tree fall on you, you can't sue that property owner like he did anymore. So I think that he's sending the wrong message. I think he could change the Republican Party in Texas forever. If he just said, look, we want to have a reasonable, common sense approach to immigration reform, because we know that we're going to build the greatest economy in the world with the help of immigrant labor. And we're going to do it in a smart and thoughtful way. Instead, his thing is like, we're going to put more barbed wire down at the border, keep these Mexicans out. That's the message. And I find him to be a hypocrite beyond belief. So we'll see. I mean, we're all hypocritical. Look at me. We're dripping in it, all of us. But look, there's a higher road to take on this issue, and they're taking the low road on it. They're taking the road of they're victimizing our people. I mean, this guy, he's told so many lies about stuff. It's just unbelievable. I don't know how he got elected for a third. Well, because he's running against Beto, who's also a knucklehead. That's another story altogether. Trump issued tariffs. Nobody really knows why or what the point of this is. It's a negotiating tactic, allegedly, but nobody really understood, and it sent the markets down this morning. The Wall Street Journal didn't hold back. It's quote, it says, it's risky to be America's enemy, but it can be fatal to be its friend. The Journal said that Trump stated his reason for the tariffs to stop drugs as an excuse, and that he simply favors tariffs. The editorial board, which is deeply conservative, noted that Trump seems to want a closed economy where the U.S. does not need imports from other countries, which it called, I don't know what the word was. It states that the system is not realistic. Trump said that the editorial board is part of the tariff lobby led by the globalists and is always wrong. The always wrong Wall Street Journal. He defends his tariffs, stating that Canada, Mexico, and China have been ripping off the U.S. for decades through trade, crime, and flow of drugs. Trump also points to the U.S. trade deficits with these countries and the national debt of $36 trillion as further justification for his actions. He declared the U.S. would no longer be the stupid country. Trump imposed a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico. And here's what it means for you folks, by the way. If the number one beer in America is no longer Bud Light, it is Modelo Especial. Leslie, any
It's
thoughts
also
on
my favorite. That's my favorite beer. It's my favorite
number one beer in
Mexican
America,
too.
right? And like a lot of people were like, "Oh well, it's because Bud Light didn't like the transsexual stuff and all that kind of stuff. They like that trans. No. It was already
Yeah, Modelo's just a better beer.
Modelo was on its way up the whole time.
It's a great
And
beer.
number two now, actually, shockingly, is Michelob Ultra. Have an Ultra.
That's for all the dude bros watching their waistlines.
White Flames,
Yeah.
right?
That is definitely due to the more healthier type of trend
Right.
that we've seen over
Do you
the
drink
last-
that Michelob Ultra?
Yes.
Do you really?
That's if I drink anything, it's usually
You just got called a
that. And
dude,
it's
bro.
like,
Defend
dude,
yourself immediately.
Doesn't
I don't
Billy
have
Bob
to.
I mean, I don't
Thornton
think it
drink
was
that
an
on
insult.
Landman?
I mean, he
There you
is
go.
a
Did
dude
you hear
and a
that?
bro.
Billy
you hear that?
Bob Thornton drinks it on Landman.
It's a manly light beer.
Yeah.
But it's not
Sure.
really alcohol.
Sure it is.
Not
It's
alcohol.
actually good. I prefer lagers. Occasionally I'll do like an IPA or something.
Yeah.
But
I
That's a treat.
saw a great takedown, by the way, on Landman about how it's just oil and gas propaganda. Of course, it's oil and gas propaganda.
Petroleum Institute, has the first ad.
Yeah, they have the first ad in it, and how it's just completely, propaganda for the industry, and how it's just terribly written. Like, and then there was one thing in there, like the lawyer that shows up, and she's like looking at the windmills, and she's like, "What are those?" Like, who the hell does not know what a windmill is, or a wind turbine?
Can we just say we're thankful that Demi Moore is doing another thing?
She's in it now. She's in it now too.
Yeah.
I have to admit though, I like the dialogue in Landman. I find it to be sort of amusing at times. Although the thing with the daughter, oh my God, that's terrible. All right, enough of that. Goodbye, Mark and Laura. Goodbye. Oh, here comes Fireman Nick. Come on, hurry up.
Oh, he's promoting.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, what do you got?
What you got? He's got a poster.
All right, coming up.
What's with this gang material? What's with the gang writing on this? Look at this.
It's graffiti.
It's got graffiti on this. Look at this.
That's
gang.
cool.
It's a hip and happening
Nice
event.
colors.
I thought we were.
Look at that.
Are you gonna wear baggy pants?
Public School Foundation.
Yeah, Nick's gonna break out his MC Hammer pants.
I'm thinking about buying a table. Okay. All right. All right. February 22nd. Yes. 5:30 to 9:30. Are you gonna go to this?
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Possibly.
Okay. We got lots to talk about today, though. Thank you, Nick. We'll get this on there. All right. All right. KPSF. This is their trivia night fundraiser. $75 a person. February 22nd is over at Inn of the Hills. There's a silent auction, raffle, cash bar, seated dinner, and it's served. Served seated dinner. I wonder who's going to cater that thing.
Probably Inn of the Hills.
Oh, probably Inn of the Hills. Right.
High chance.
How many people are on that table?
And
on the
Modelo is
table?
being served.
Modelo.
Yeah, Modelo's been served before the tariff. I don't know how many people are on the table. Eight.
You want to go halvesies on it?
Yeah, let's go halves on it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll do it. I'll write you a check.
Okay.
All right. See you later. All right. We're going to have.
We already got you a table.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
that.
for the.
Hey.
He left.
He's out. He's
Oh, he's
gone.
coming back.
You're-
He's coming back.
Jesus Christ.
He's coming back.
I think your voice carried.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're talking to you.
We're definitely gonna buy a table. So save one for Gilbert.
Collaborated on it. Right
Gilbert, the lead and Texas Country Advisors.
I love it, man. Second place is there for the taking, guys.
All right.
now. Look at that. You get a belt.
like it.
Is that what we
Yeah.
get? Like a WWE belt?
I guess
Is that
so.
what that was?
Yeah.
All
I guess
right.
so.
Heck
That's
yeah.
pretty good.
You gotta hold it
That
up.
sounds like a challenge.
It
to
sounds like
me.
a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. A couple other things to get through for the weekend. This week, very busy as far as news goes. Well, it's a quiet week because it's 1st February. I don't. Did they drag the rat out of the cage and
Punxsutawney-Phil?
Yeah.
Yes, they
I
did.
read. Well, what did you see?
What
Shadow or no?
did you see?
Well, I started watching it, and I realized this was like the first time I've ever actually watched the ceremony, and I immediately got really confused about like if the shadow,
Which way it
was,
which way it was. So he saw the outcome was that we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter.
All
I
right.
think. That's
So you saw a shadow.
As we roll into an 80-degree week.
Yeah.
right. Or at least that was what but then they started
Yeah,
playing.
no,
That was
yeah.
just one, and then they had one in like Illinois, and then they had one
Yeah,
like Boston. They had
and there's somebody that has their own critter.
and then
that's not
they
even
started repeating
yeah.
like, well, these two saw their
Yeah.
shadow and these didn't, and I was like, I'm completely lost.
Well,
Buy
we
a
do-
farmer's almanac.
How do we do it here? Would we do an armadillo or what would we do? Porcupine?
I would ask Justin
Aren't
Graham.
armadillos blind? They probably
ask
won't see his
Justin Graham.
shadow.
Yeah. Justin
All they
Graham.
care about is seeing the car coming toward them, not the
Yeah.
shadow.
Yeah. Those things for an animal that they sure get hit a lot. They must be speedy. Like
I've
we
eaten
need to do-
armadillo.
we need
Have
to
you
do
eaten armadillo?
something-
no.
Yeah, in college.
Did you?
A quote unquote survival trip for the weekend, which is, I mean, anyone can survive in the weekend in
Well,
Florida.
don't they meet? Wasn't it chili they put them in a lot of times? Is that what?
Armadillo chili.
You could.
Cook it in the shell. Flip it
Can't
over.
you get leprosy from?
You have to eat like a specific
what's
body
wrong
part
with
of theirs. Like it's like their liver or something, and that's
Yeah.
how you get that.
Yeah.
Well, we should
do
do
you
an
know that?
extreme.
I know all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
We should do an extreme
Eating
version
challenge?
Of that. No.
No.
We should do it with a rattlesnake instead.
I've had
Rattlesnakes
rattlesnake
is like
too.
chicken.
Rattlesnake's good.
Yeah.
If you get bit, we're gonna have 6 more weeks of winter.
It's like more, there you go. Yeah.
You can be the first.
And
You
And
can be the first
possibly
one.
death.
You will have winter for eternity.
You know
Sorry.
what's interesting?
Yeah.
If you get bit and you survive it, you're deeply in debt because apparently the antivenom is exceptionally expensive. So
I hadn't thought of that.
keep an eye on that one.
Hey, it's part of the extreme, you know.
Yeah, right. So we had tariffs. We had the State of the State address. We have protests on Wednesday across the country. We had protests yesterday across the world. Germany turned out in mass to protest Elon Musk and his stuff. And then they had, which I always find annoying though, when they stop the freeway. So in California and LA, they had a freeway demonstration where people got on the freeway. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Like, you can protest on the street, just don't get on the freeway. That's my thing.
Well, good thing is like traffic's not bad there or anything.
No, God Almighty! On a Sunday, can you imagine? It's actually light, but it's probably backed up for miles. Okay, Leslie, I was over at Schreiner,
Yeah.
and look at this. Look at this.
You
shot.
went to a
Oh, you went to
basketball
basketball
game.
I did. The men and women swept this weekend. The men
Oh, nice.
beat Centenary. Well, they both beat Centenary and Ozarks, so it was a sweep. It was the first time that the women have won back-to-back games this season. They are kind of finally kind of putting things together. It was a big win yesterday for the women. They were down 6 or 7 points at halftime. Came back, beat Centenary. Sky Thomas had like 17 points and 10 rebounds, something along those lines. And then it was one of those games, the men's game yesterday, Camden Ross, another double-double. He got beat up. I got photos of him just getting mauled by he's their star All-American forward center. And he just got, they were just hanging all over him. It was just like he couldn't fight him. He had to fight him off the whole time. So he only had
Sounds like a really physical game.
yeah, it was really physical. But at halftime or between the two games yesterday, I walked out to the soccer field. So the field that's just kind of to the north of the Stevens Arena or the activity center. This is it right here, Leslie. This is going to be the new soccer field.
All right.
And you can see it right here. There's two tractors or excavators there. Mm-hmm. They're going to tear that up, and they're going to put down artificial turf there. That's going to be the new soccer field. And they're breaking ground on that, I think, this week. Actually, they got all the stuff ready to go. It'll be lighted. And this is where intramurals will happen. This is where the soccer team will play their matches at.
The soccer team deserves that, though.
Yeah.
A well-lit field.
on turf.
On turf. It'll be a specialized turf for them. And then over here, there's
groundhog hole?
There's the usually that's just a lot of deer stuff on this. And then this is the current soccer field. This is going to be turned into the football practice field. So it's a grass field now. But they have to pour a huge amount of water on that thing to keep that green. And you can see it right now that there it is. And then over there at the what's that little gym called? The little gym that they have?
Is it Eddington?
Eddington, right. Eddington. This is the work that is being done on Eddington right now. And so you can see that is construction is underway. That's going to be part of the new football weight training facility. Actually, it'll be a completely new weight training facility for everybody, all the athletes at Schreiner, but mostly to help with the football program. This is part of the money that they got from the city or from the EIC to help with this project as well. So there you go. That just happened. I saw Bill Raleigh, the athletic director, and he was like, "Look at my fields. Look at my fields. Go out there and look at my fields, Lewis."
Bill probably feels pretty good about all this.
Yeah, because it's finally things are happening.
Yeah,
so
when he's taking care of his other sports.
They're signing stuff. The men's basketball team right now is 14-5. They're actually fun to watch. I wish more people would go to their games. People do go to the games. The women's team has won 5 games this year. It's a whole new thing. Like, they lost so many players. They lost at least 3 starters. And they have a new coach, and she's great. She's going to be really good. And but the men's team, though, this is the last year with Camden Ross and Bo Cervantes, and I think Dylan Mackey has one more season. But Camden Ross is special, and they played above the rim this last weekend. A lot of dunks, which is fun.
That is fun for a college game.
Ozarks had a guy on the team look like he was 37 years old.
He could have been. He could have been.
Could have been. Other things that
if
are going.
If he has eligibility, I don't think your age matters.
Yeah. Also, if you read the newsletter this morning, you subscribe, which, by the way, is a bargain. It is only $10 a month, and you get news every single day. One of these things that's going to happen, folks, with these tariffs is it's going to really impact our newspapers here in town, because almost all of the paper that they purchase is from Canada. I think probably 97% of it's from Canada. And I don't know what their reserves are. Since the Kerrville Daily Times no longer prints in Kerrville, none of these papers are printed here, obviously. They're printed either in San Antonio or New Braunfels. It just depends on how much paper they have. And so they're going to have some real pressures on there. And I saw a lot of newspaper groups yesterday like, "Oh, no, this is bad for us." And, the only one that I saw was the Spokane Spokesman Review, which owns its own printing or own paper mill in Canada, can move them in and kind of absorb some of those costs. But everywhere else is it's gonna be painful for a lot of these guys because paper is already expensive as it is, and this is gonna make it even worse. There is a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on Thursday. And one of the things we've talked about is that there is this development push on Loop 534 and Cypress Creek Road. So if you're driving, let's say you're driving south on Loop 534 towards Tybee and Peterson Middle School, you have on that east or that west side of Loop 534, you have the middle school, you have the new Lennar development across the street from it, and then you have the new Lennar development going in back behind it. And on the front of that area on Loop 534, all the way down to Cypress Creek Road is a planned commercial development that Schreiner actually owns, Schreiner University owns. Mm-hmm. And then there's another development that's going to go in that they're going to discuss that could add 150 units and a parking garage, 150 homes or apartments. And then there's also another phase for another 80 homes there. And then these are all apartments, I should say, and then a commercial development as well. And this is going to be discussed on Thursday. And they have already approved an annexation across on the southeast corner of Cypress Creek. This is an annexation, and they combined a replatting of these properties that would go into the city, which would build another large-scale apartment complex there as well. So
is that the southeast corner? Is that right north, if you will, of the church? The church
yes.
own that land?
Yes.
Or who owns
yeah.
the land?
I don't know who owns it, but it's in that general. Yeah, it's on that corner there. So north of the church, north of Tybee High School. So yeah, that whole area could become basically a new Main Street in a lot of ways. Yeah. So Leslie, like when you exit out of your facility there, your holding facility during the daytime, you can just go up to Loop 534 and you can go to a new restaurant or something along those lines instead of Cracker Barrel.
Well, I rarely go to Cracker Barrel.
That's good. That's good.
We have a lot of great locally owned restaurants I like to
go to. I tell you, I was in San Antonio the other day, and they have a Cracker Barrel ad up now, and it just looks disgusting. It just looks disgusting.
You can drink at Cracker Barrels now.
Do you really?
Here's here. Yeah,
really?
You can get a mimosa.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't think of one thing that I've ever.
With your hearty country breakfast.
Really?
Yeah.
You might need it to get it down. I don't know. So, do you think they make the food there? Is it all pre?
Some of it.
Do you think it's all made there?
Some of it's probably pre-made. It's a corporate chain.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Howard Freeman's here, Leslie Jones. He's going to talk about entrepreneurial work. You had an entrepreneur that was here. I heard you talk about this guy once before, actually. And but tell us a little bit about what you're up to these days. What do you got going on?
Yeah. So I don't want to tell the whole story of this young guy, Jonathan Hood. He's actually driving somewhere between here and Fredericksburg. This kid's 19 years. I say kid. I mean, my youngest son is 21. So this guy's a kid to me. 19 years old, graduated from Tybee in 2023. Has started 2 businesses, has 5 employees, just pulled down a $45,000 a year contract with 70 Airbnbs in Fredericksburg. He's got a pressure washing business. So I met him last summer. He was doing door-to-door sales in Comanche Trace.
Speaking of entrepreneurial work, if you want to make some extra money on the side, you can just do YouTube videos of that, time-lapse it.
Power washing?
People find that to be very relaxing.
Yeah, it's like ASMR.
It's like that's it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the ASMR.
Yeah.
So he was doing door-to-door sales. He wanted to pressure wash our driveway. I'm like, no thanks. And he had maybe 10 customers, and now he's like 300 residential customers. He has the hospital in Fredericksburg and some other properties. So kid's a rock star. And the reason I mention entrepreneurialism is, he, like many young kids, he's in high school. He's like, we're learning about whatever, what the cause of World War I. What does that have to do with me trying to do something amazing or whatever? He's your typical kind of, for lack of a better way to describe, like ADD, high performance kind of guy. And he started these businesses. And his sister is valedictorian, I think, this year at Tybee. Hood, check me on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the deal is that the one of the 2 announcements is we are going to start with the school's permission. I think there's a young woman there, either junior or senior. We're going to start an entrepreneur club at Tybee High School.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I'm talking with the mayor on Friday about that. And our big champion locally, of course, was Katie Milton Jordan. That was a huge loss.
Yeah.
Like, that just gutted me when she left the KDC. So I don't know what's going on at the KDC, but in any
Todd
event,
Bach, by the way, will be the new interim executive director, since he doesn't have anything to do with himself now since they sold their business.
Okay.
So he's now in charge of it as well. I think it's probably a good pick there.
Yeah. So we're gonna Jonathan, this young guy, is interested in getting involved in helping start this entrepreneur club at Tybee.
Okay.
And then the other part of this is we're going to open a fund, a $2.5 million fund. And we are going to invest in local businesses, both small businesses and also venture scale businesses.
Okay.
So more details to come. We're opening that fund right away.
All right. That's good to do that. So you've got a fund. And what kind of entrepreneurs, like a power washing business, that's a great opportunity, obviously, for a lot of.
It's tremendous.
Yeah. It's low barrier to entry.
Yeah. So it could be a small business like that, or it could be a venture scale business. It might be, a B2B SaaS product or AI driven whatnot, or aviation widget or whatever. It could be something huge. So we want to invest in up to 25 businesses, 100,000, up to 100,000, up to 25 businesses, depending on how much we get.
Wow.
But capital calls are not right away, because
Right.
we have to get some other things together. But it could be pretty exciting. It could get us back a little bit of our startup ecosystem mojo, like Joshua Brown and Charles Schreiner.
Right.
Both not from here, by the way.
They came here. They came here for the opportunity.
Schreiner was born in France.
Right. And they came here and they found opportunity here. And this is, I find that I've said this before, like I came here and I think that I said, there's opportunity here to do things. When you have customers like Tawny Fontaine Jenner, you know that this is a target rich environment.
Keeps the lights
that
on.
was my story. I came here with a trash bag full of clothes. I didn't even have a car.
What? Wait a minute. Expand. Explain that.
So when I moved here, I didn't
You
have
had
a
a
whole lot.
trash bag of clothes.
Well, for lack of better,
I find that hard to believe.
description.
I find hard that
It was
that,
technically like a
He's
suitcase.
spinning a yarn.
Listen,
Let him tell
listen,
his
listen.
tale.
But I did have a trash bag.
I find
So-
that Bit Johnson would not let that happen.
No. I was already out of the house.
Okay.
Like I'd done with college. I was
Right.
living in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I made the decision on my own to move down here and just kind of like restart my life. And I found a place to live. I found a job, but I literally did not have like anything when I moved here.
You just showed up.
Yeah.
How did you get here if you didn't have a car?
Well, I had someone transport me here.
You had someone
And then-
transport you.
Yes, and then because my car, I was having car trouble. I
Yeah.
left it in Dallas, and eventually got it down here, and then traded it in, because it had some issues. But that was it, and that jump started me, and that's
How long have you been here now? How many
And
years?
technically, we're entrepreneurs because we're independent financial advisors. So we don't work for
Exactly.
anybody. But I've been here for 12 years, going on 12 years. So.
Tremendous.
That is. I mean, you found. And why did you come here? And what was the draw? Just the job, or just?
Yes, and because we know this is a big recovery community,
Yeah.
right? So I was involved in some of that, and this was the most likely place that I thought, this is similar to like the vibe of the town that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
I was working in Dallas that was not conducive for me trying to embrace adulthood, and,
Right.
and I had a big boy job, and that just wasn't good for me. So when I moved here, I got involved in that community, and just I knew what I needed to do.
Right.
And I did it.
Right.
And it took.
And then you met Gilbert.
And then I met Gilbert within
And it all
a
went
year or
downhill.
two. Yeah, because like I got a job at the bank,
Yeah.
and I told him, I said, listen, I got a college degree. I kind of know where I want to end up, but I need to start somewhere. And they said, yeah, we'll hire you if you want to start at the bottom and work your way up if you're willing to do that. I said, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That's how I ended up meeting Gilbert and his former business partner. And then over the years, things developed and blossomed, and our relationship grew. And
You guys
I
were
got
stuck in that
licensed,
bank
and
together, then, weren't you?
Yep.
It's called a trauma bond.
And
I worked at a bank
together.
once.
That's exactly what it was.
That's hilarious. But the bigger picture and the point of all this
Right.
is that even me, as someone that was like in my young professional, I had a college degree, but I was definitely lost in life. I landed here in Kerrville, and I still found opportunity. And now I married a local. I got my parents here. They've moved here.
Yeah. You're gonna have a
and
kid
then
now.
I'm gonna be a father next year.
You have lots of dogs, too.
I mean, this year.
Yeah.
That's part of the story. So I was able to. It took.
Yeah,
It's possible.
the interesting thing about this story is you say you found opportunity. I'd have to say you had to have your eyes open to it. Like some
Sure.
people just don't they're not open to it. They don't look
Yeah,
for it.
sure. Right.
You were ready for it.
Yes, I didn't really know exactly what I was looking for, but I knew I needed to look, and that was the difference.
Yeah, I mean, the entrepreneurs like this, and I don't consider myself an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs like this have a lot of grit. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
The other thing, one more note about the fund, there's a rumor that the Callow Foundation might be interested in doing a program-related investment. You know how we talked about that?
Yeah, right.
That's one of your favorite phrases.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can. I don't think they've ever done a PRI or an MRI, but they can. Based on the IRS.
Yeah.
They got, like we were talking about before the program. They've got to give away 5% of their market value. Half of that can go to overhead. But if they don't find worthy grantees, they can make program-related investments to make up that 5%. And this fund would be a way for them to do that. Maybe they'll get past that whole tree thing and giving away all the money outside of Kirk County.
They should do that right away. That would be good for them.
It'd be good, really good.
I want to. By the way, I want you to visualize what I think it must have been like for Gilbert and Andrew to work at Wells Fargo. I'm gonna help you guys with this. Hold on a second.
Oh no.
Oh no.
For the audience's
camera.
sake, Lewis has risen and is walking
This
away.
is serious if he stands up.
Yeah. Prepare to be assaulted.
He's getting
I know.
himself. He's getting himself in frame.
Go ahead and approve that loan. Go ahead and approve it. Just go ahead.
No, that was me. I worked on the bank side. Gilbert was still just the advisor.
Go ahead, just ignore that altogether.
Dude, we have stories upon stories. for
Oh,
that. That's
we
a
can tell you
different-
stories. Yeah, we can
We
tell you
thought-
stories about our time.
I think one day, if I'm lucky enough to make it to retirement, and I have
You can write about it. No?
I'm gonna write a book about it because we lived through all of that stuff. The
Yeah,
craziness
absolutely.
and we were in the
Right.
retail bank. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, Howard, if you get the entrepreneurship program started, and
Mm-hmm.
me and Andrew would love to come and talk to the students because,
Yes.
entrepreneurship is not something that's taught in schools. Neither is
It's not.
personal finance. Well, I think they do
They do.
offer
They
a
do
class.
finance class. Yeah, my son.
There are some things there, but not enough kids know that they should take those things. Because,
And a lot of them are hungry for it.
Yeah.
They're just
Yes.
like, how do I do this? They're very practical.
They
Some are
don't-
academically minded, some are very practical. It's like the game life, You
Mm-hmm.
get
Yeah.
college, you get that job or whatever,
They
and yeah,
don't
maybe you're not a
understand,
dentist, but you're a.
how credit works. They don't
Right.
understand how debt is a serious problem, how they should avoid it. They don't understand how taxes work. They don't understand a lot of stuff that is really important for people to know as they grow up. Now,
Yeah.
for most people, being an entrepreneur is not for them. Working for somebody else is what they need to do because that's what works for them. But for a lot of people, entrepreneurship, man, that's a big deal. I was fortunate to learn a lot of stuff because I had the right experiences, I had the right mentors, and I had a lot of people that guided me along the way. But it's not an easy thing, and it's not for everybody. But I was also fortunate in that I met somebody like Andrew that you talk about ADD. Andrew's ADD because he really gets focused on something and then he won't let it go until it's done. And that's the kind of person I needed to help us build our business because there's no way I could do it by myself. That just isn't. I like to think I'm a smart enough guy, but I don't have the number of the hours in the day to do all the things that need to be done to make a successful business. And working with a partner like Andrew has been wonderful because it's not only a chance for me to live my dream, but I'm helping him live his. And together, as we move forward, we help other people live their dreams through our business and what we do. So
What is
deal.
your biggest business challenge right now?
Our biggest challenge has always been marketing, letting people know that we're here and what we do. That's the biggest issue. We try
As
to get an
independents,
audience
for
as
sure.
independent advisors, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because I've been traveling so much I haven't watched the lead, but I'm usually used to seeing Andrew come on via camera.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's like that's the thing that like happens at the beginning of the lead. So I'm so
Right.
used to that, and that's a great marketing thing that he just gets on and gives you kind of the news of the day.
I'm glad you
What's the
see
Dow
that.
doing? No, it's true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's true.
For saying that.
Otherwise, we would just make fun of Andrew the whole time, which we do.
Which
is Lycra.
which is still on the table.
Right.
Another big part of our marketing, if you will, is meeting somebody like Lewis because
Sure.
when he first started the lead, me and Andrew were just starting our business too, and we struggled for a while, me and Andrew, trying to figure out, okay, how do we let people know we're here? I mean, there's only so much time and effort that we've got, and there's only so much of a budget that we have. We said, hell, why do we need to reinvent the wheel? Why don't we just ask this guy if he'll let us be on his show occasionally, and we'll see if we can pay him a little money, see if he'll let us do it.
Well, I think that, the lead and Pint and Plow is such a great partnership. I mean, I've been coming to Kerrville since 1996 and living here for the last 8 years. And what you guys are doing, the lead and Pint and Plow is tremendous. And the whole Clay Street, I hope the Clay Street quarter continues to get built out.
Yeah, we hope that
more walkable. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. Me and Andrew may not be the smartest guys in the world, but we scratch our heads.
I think the other sign of success on this part of this too is that one of the things that I kind of talk about, and originally we had for most of 2022 and 2023, Andrew was on the show every day.
Yeah.
It
was daily.
It was daily, and then you were just
That's
like,
crazy. I forgot about that.
That you were like, I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
And that was a good sign though, because initially it was like we were on for like 10 minutes, but then it just got to be too much, and that's a good problem to have. Because you can say, okay, well, look, I've got
things are happening.
I'm super busy, but that was the routine. So
young people need to know that entrepreneurship's scary, but it's not impossible. And there's a lot of things you have to, there's a lot of hoops you have to get over, permitting and taxes, and sales taxes, and all the other stuff that you've got to do to get your business up and running. But it's doable. And
not everyone's built for it.
Yeah.
There's some people that just don't like it, and yeah, it's scary, but it's also scary working 20 years at a company and then people get laid off. That's scary. So it's like, where do you want to get you want to control some of the fear stimuli, or where do you want to be subject to it?
By the way, the Grammys were last night, Leslie. Did you watch the Grammys?
No, I was busy playing Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm tired. I didn't get home till 1.
What?
Yeah. We had a battle.
That's still a thing? Dungeons and Dragons is still a thing? It
sounds so much more appealing than
it does.
But yeah, that's what I was doing. So no, I did not watch the Grammys.
Okay.
Do you think Schreiner Goods is going to sell that outfit that, what's his face, Kanye? Was it Kanye's?
Oh, no, Jaden with the house. Is the only thing. Is that one
the see-through?
Oh, no, I didn't see that one. I saw the house on the head.
Yeah.
The black
Kanye's partner.
Kanye's partner.
Yeah.
Oh,
We could call him for you. What size you wear, Howard?
Said ask him for a
Sure, we can do a custom.
Kanye West.
You're not. You better. It's you shouldn't show it on the screen.
I only saw one that was Jaden Smith that had. He had a house on his head or something.
Yeah. Goes nude.
Yeah.
Basically nude.
It's.
Bianca.
I'm convinced
Sensori.
that's like a kink thing. Like he's like there's like a dom sub thing going on there. Like
right.
She's just signed on to be humiliated.
Right.
But have you listened to the album? It's an incredible album.
I have.
I love that album.
What album?
Cowboy Carter.
Yeah,
it's a great album.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
good
It really
album.
is. It's symphonic.
She did a great job.
It's fantastic.
She's a talented artist.
She is.
The record of the year was Kendrick Lamar, who will be playing, I think, at halftime.
Yeah, he's playing Super Bowl. Also valid.
Also
Kendrick Lamar, very talented hip hop artist.
He's also, I think, a Pulitzer Prize winner too.
Dude, he saved
Pulitzer
Compton's.
Prize.
Yes.
Kendrick is a poet. Like he's our modern day poet.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Cowboy Carter.
He's got big backing from all the Compton people. Because they got their stakes in the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say like NWA.
That's his thing.
Together,
So
gang members
their
over
legacy,
their hate for Drake.
Their
It was
legacy
amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Let's see. Best new artist was Chapel Roan.
Also well deserved.
Chaperone.
And then wins Chaperone is her name.
Chapel Roan. Her name is Chapel
called her
Roan,
that.
Not
one time
Like
and I
Us.
got fun
Song of the Year by Kendrick Lamar.
which is a diss track to Drake. It's beautiful.
Let's see here. Let me see here. Best pop solo performance was let's see here. Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
That tracks.
Let's see. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, best pop duo group performance.
I like Lady
Die with a Smile. Yeah, she's pretty talented. Lady Gaga's pretty talented. Best pop vocal album, Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet.
This was 2024 was her year.
Was her year.
The summer
Yeah.
belonged to Sabrina Carpenter. That's for sure. And Chapel.
Like you couldn't go into a department store without hearing espresso.
Yeah.
Like, on the
It's true.
over the speakers.
Best rock performance, Now and Then, the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
Is that the AI one?
I guess so.
I think so, yeah. Best metal performance. I didn't even know that was in a category. Mea Culpa by, I don't even know if these guys even are. Best rock song, Broken Man by Annie Clark. Best rock album, Hackney Diamonds by the Rolling Stones. You know what's amazing? Rolling Stones, I mean, you think I saw a photo of kids wearing at Ingram Elementary School, wearing the Rolling Stones clothing. And I thought to myself, they could either be mixed children or great grandchildren, because he's in that age. He's like 80 something, right?
Yeah.
So and it's amazing that they're still out there performing. Let me see here.
Have you seen Ringo Starr lately? He's like 81, 82.
He looks good.
He attributes his longevity to blueberries and broccoli.
That's probably
things
right.
rich people say.
That's like the old lady says, I drink a Coca-Cola a day.
Something someone in a different tax bracket than me would say.
You know what's interesting is that the Peter Jackson documentary, which I actually have really finished, all of it. You realize that the narrative around the Beatles is so fascinating if you watch the whole thing. And it basically, George Harrison was the one that left first because he was sick of Paul, because Paul just treated him like crap, because he was like the little brother. He was like the little brother to. It's the three of them. It's Paul, George, and John, right? And George was like the little brother, and they treated him like that. Like, oh yeah, no, you're not that good of a guitar player yet. You'll get there. And he was like, I'm out. And then Ringo just didn't want to go anywhere. You wanted to what? You want to do a live appearance in Tripoli? No, I'm not going to go do that. I'm staying home in England. It's fascinating to watch, and that Paul is like this weird workaholic who just won't stop, and then John shows up with Yoko just sitting there like empty and vacant and weird, but he gets in there late all the time. And then he and Paul immediately connect and like better playing, and they just jam together. It's just crazy to watch. So it's also crazy to watch in the context of Quincy Jones, what he would say about those guys too. I don't know, Leslie. Any other comments on the Grammys?
I don't know. I didn't watch anything.
Because you were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
What was your character?
My character is a druid tuffling.
Yeah.
And I am the royal...
a tuffling?
Tuffling, yeah. It means I'm half demon.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
yeah, and I have a criminal network. That's how I get all my information.
That tracks a lot.
And I put together a party to go find... We have to go rescue these people that went to go get stuff for our village, but they're being attacked by ice zombies.
My brother...
When you say it out loud, you're like...
When Dungeons and Dragons was
41.
was only like a board game, literally, and the dice in the mid '70s, when my younger brother taught me, and I had this character named Aragorn, and he died in one of the games.
My character's name is Wesley.
Oh, I don't know anything.
Well,
anyway, but Aragorn died, and so the next time we played, like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring Aragorn. And he's like, no, Aragorn died the last game. I'm like, so it's a new game. He's like, doesn't work that way.
They're like, it's done.
I'm like,
You're done.
forget this game.
It's
I'm not
a game,
playing anymore.
It's a game that has a lot of rules and yet no rules at all.
Yeah.
It's incredibly,
Chris Stapleton won the Best Country Solo Performance for It Takes a Woman.
I'm not a fan of Chris Stapleton.
Just big voice. Yeah. Best Country Song, The Architect by Shane McAnally, Casey Musgraves, and Josh
Love Casey
Osborne.
Musgraves.
Gosh,
what a good lyric writer.
Yeah. Oh. Best Country Album, Cowboy Carter, Beyonce.
Yeah. Go
Take that
Go
one.
Queen.
Take that.
Bay or B? How do you say it?
Bay.
I think you can do either one.
Yeah.
It's whatever you recognize.
All right, here's the deal. All right, so we're talking about entrepreneurial work here, and Howard, when do you think you can get this thing up and running? What's your timeline on this deal?
Well, I'll be the first money in myself, and then it's just a matter of putting together, naming it. I mean, I know that Callow loves naming things. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is a way for them to put a name on something.
The Callow Fund. So
Floyd and Kathleen Fund, whatever.
Don't tell them that I'm involved or that I had you on the show. They do.
Too late.
Yeah. Okay.
It's in posterity.
Right. The so you're gonna put your money in. You get some other people maybe that'll do it as well. This is important though, because this is a great opportunity for people to come here and get it done. So
Well, I think this helps us it helps us strengthen local businesses, and it helps us create some perhaps unicorns.
Right. I
think it helps us create jobs for decades to come.
Yeah,
and an ecosystem of young people like these guys, where say I don't want to go to college or whatever. I just want to do something.
Right.
You get people like Dalton over at Napa Auto Parts.
Right. Right.
Those are the kind of people we want to be able to identify and give them a pathway to do what they want to do.
We need Dalton on the show again. By the way, I got words for him. He's got to help me with my Hot Wheels.
You do. He's him. They have
Hot
a
Wheels.
stomach bug going through their house. Right now.
Isn't that the worst? Anyway, all right. As far as financial stuff goes, what are you guys looking at in the markets here? Tell us your
You already
thoughts.
talked about tariffs, so
Tariffs, right?
Well, I think the market is responding this morning to the idea that there might be more tariffs and more sticky tariffs. The market usually overreacts on the downside and the upside. I think today they're reacting negatively to the downside. It'll probably settle down a little bit. But,
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think there's going to be some cost increases. I heard a report from Bloomberg this morning that the average new car may go up in price by about $3,000 because of the tariffs.
Yeah.
Whether or not those things are permanent remains to be seen, but there's a lot of disruption going on, whether it's us, doing tariffs on imports, or the Canadians and the Mexicans doing tariffs on our exports. There's a lot of disruption to be had, and things might be a little bumpy the first few quarters until we get some of this settled.
It looks like Mexico already blinked.
hold on. Yes, wait.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about this for a while, and what happened this weekend was the markets were not really, because we were on here. I've been talking about this on your show too. Is that the markets weren't really buying the fact that was like what was going to happen, right?
Right.
So over the weekend, it happened, and the market started to freak out, and we're having a sell-off this morning, which is sell-off in the stock market, which is what they call risk-off. There's a lot of ways to describe it, but people are kind of selling off stocks and buying more safer assets like bonds, and you can see that. And right now, you just got it too. I got it on my wrist, and Mexico just said, Claudia Steinbaum just said that Trump will pause tariffs on Mexico for a month after reaching an agreement to fight fentanyl trafficking. So that's probably going to give more calm to the markets, because that is exactly why they're freaking out this weekend, and we've been waiting on that.
Yeah, a good example of that in numbers is this morning the Dow was down over 600 points. Now it's down 175. Still
Yeah.
down, but
Yeah.
not nearly as bad as it was
But
earlier.
it's happening right now. The markets are shooting, like it's popping right now just
Yeah.
off of that news.
Right.
And that tells you everything you need to know. That was what the markets were freaking out about this weekend. But to Gilbert's point, they overreact on the upside and downside. It always happens. They're anticipatory mechanisms. They look out 6 to 12 months in the future. If it's a stock market, they're saying, how is this going to affect companies' profits? Because that's what our valuations are based on, and tariffs are going to hit that. Well, guess what? And that expectation of less sales in the next 6 to 12 months means the stock price the valuation of the business needs to correct. And that was what was happening this morning. That's why you see those things happen. But for long-term investors, we would say that it's still just noise.
Hey,
I
what
read an
happened-
article this
what-
weekend about that.
What happened last night was around 7 o'clock Central Time, where Bitcoin and Ethereum and all those were dropping. Anything happened? It all went down.
It was probably all the same stuff this weekend. I don't know if there was
It's all at the same time.
Well, it can be
came
event. It can be event driven specifically to that sector. Sometimes we have like sector sensitive announcements or events, and it can be anything from geopolitical stuff or a sympathy type of spread play where one big competitor in a space says something, and then the rest of those same people that are in the industry, they follow suit, right? So I don't really keep up with that as much.
I don't follow crypto that much.
Yeah, but nevertheless, that's what's happening right now. So this week, since I'm talking and I'm thinking about it, earnings is also on the table this week.
Oh, yes. Still got some big tech earnings this week.
Yes, and Friday on the economic front, we get employment data. And the number of jobs that were added for January. So this will be the first peek at economic data, that type of labor market data that we get for the month of January.
Right. The other one too is that I think that the Mexican tariffs also, particularly problematic, not so much for, I mean, it's also cars and
Auto manufacturers,
Auto
big time.
manufacturers, yeah. It was killing GM and Ford this morning too. I'm sure they were like, "Whoa, yo, dude, this is hurting us right now," because so many of the auto parts are manufactured in Mexico to begin with, as well. I don't know. We'll see how this works out too. I'm sure that there was some other issue too. It's like maybe you can limit if we limit the fentanyl, maybe we can limit the number of guns coming across the border too from the United States.
You know, there's another indicator I've watched for close to 10 years. The Equipment Leasing and Finance Foundation publishes its monthly confidence index, MCI, and what it studies is basically they ask business owners and banks what they're going to do with their cash.
Yeah.
So if I'm a business owner and I'm confident about what's happening, I'm willing to hire people and I'm willing to buy heavy equipment, you know, that I can't get out of easily. So, and the banks are also seeing these business owners willing to lend, you know, to borrow money. So when the confidence index is high, I've always tracked it that end of the year philanthropic giving goes up, and you can watch that. So over the last 3 months, it's gone into close to a 3 or 4 year high, that MCI index at the end of the year. But watch that. It's the Equipment Leasing Finance Foundation.
Okay.
It basically it gives you the mood of the country of what people are willing to do with their cash.
Yeah, right.
And it sounds very similar to like a CapEx type budget, because
Yes.
when optimism's high for business owners, they invest more back into their business because they think, hey, the environment's going to be favorable for here on out. We need to like beef up our investment to like really take advantage of the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And the other one too that's really become a severe annoyance for a lot of people is the price of eggs, which is, you know, people are joking about this as well, but really this is you know, kind of the result of a problem with bird flu. And if you look at the numbers that are out there, the one area that I don't think they've scrubbed, and I can still see it popping up, is the number of I can't remember if it's the CDC or US, I guess it's the USDA, tracks the number of birds that have been destroyed by bird flu. And once the bird flu gets in there into a flock, they got to kill every single animal. And so millions of birds have been killed. It's going to take months to, you know, bring that supply back up. But eggs are continuing to climb, well over $5 for a dozen, I guess, in most cases now.
I would also say that that is related to goods inflation, and yes, that's important. It's part of the inflation metric, but there's a reason that the Fed watches core inflation readings and not the headline, because those things are volatile. They're tied to commodity markets, which trade on a global scale. Mm-hmm. They can go all over the place. Think about the price of gasoline. But what I think might be more problematic would be the cost of things in the services sector, which is why the Fed looks at core inflation readings. Think about insurance. That has increased, like, I don't know how much, what the numbers is, but it's an ungodly amount in the last few years. And that's a service side product. Service, like, you know, so I think that's where the issue is going to lie with inflation being overly sticky, because that has not chilled out and has been trailing over and above the headline readings for PCE, which is the Fed's preferred metric.
Yeah. All right. Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
Speaking of preferred metrics.
Sure.
We have events this week.
We do.
I want to get to the events because there's the weather is going to be
It's gonna be a
absolutely
beautiful week.
spectacular, by the way.
And we're in our first week of February.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I know. It's crazy that it's got here. It felt like January is both very long and very fast at the same time. I don't think time is real anymore. But I play Dungeons and Dragons now. So let's see.
Thursday and Friday, by the way, 83 and 82 degrees. Mostly sunny.
Well, break out the sunscreen.
Saturday, 86.
I saw in the news this morning.
I'm ready
next
for
week,
it.
though, we've got another cold front.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's still cold coming.
You can't count February out.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, man, don't.
Yeah, or March. March can get weird around here, too.
Yeah.
So this week you've got the Hill Country Arts Foundation, past and present. This is works from their permanent exhibit that you're going to want to check out. Stunning exhibit. As well as Sherma Lee and Lou and the Matt Cowboys at the Museum of Western Art. $7 gets you in to see that exhibit, and it is stunning. New exhibits have opened at the Kerr Arts and Cultural Center for you as well to go check out. Free to get in and go see those. And then let's see, tomorrow over at Riverside Nature Center, they're doing a NED talk, their nature education talks, and it's a resurrection of springs. They're going to talk water, so go enjoy that. That'll be from 1 to 2 tomorrow. As we roll into your Wednesday, you have the Friends of the Library book sale from 1 to 3 at the Butt Holdsworth Library. So you get a great price on books. It's also Wild West Wine Wednesday at the Museum of Western Art. So
Always a good day.
that is. So 5:30 to 7:30, you can sample some locally or regionally made spirits and then see the latest exhibit for free. So you can see that new one. So make your way over there. And then as we go into the rest of your week, on Thursday, you'll notice a lot of trailers coming in. It's the Texas Elite Showcase Junior Gilt Show in sale. So there's hogs coming, prize hogs. Will be coming over to the Hill Country Youth Event Center for the weekend. You've also got Sprouts on Thursday at Riverside Nature Center, free reading program for your pre-K and under kiddo, 10:30 to 11:30. And then Thursday evening, pop-up songwriter circle at Trailhead Beer Garden.
Nice.
Thanks to Jacoby Caldwell and Conrad Wirt, doing a great job. 6:30 to 8:30. It's a great way to see some amazing live music and very talented people in your area. And then on Thursday evening as well, over at Callow Artrageous takes the stage. So this should be a super exciting show. Get your tickets for this. Should be a good one. On Friday, over at the Riverside Nature Center, 101 with the Naturalist. They'll have a Master Naturalist from 10 to 12, so you can ask all of your Master Naturalist questions. Or if you want to find out more about how to be a part of that program. Again, that is Friday at Riverside Nature Center. Ton of live music happening. Live music was Susan Herndon on Friday night at Cafe at the Ridge, karaoke at Inn of the Hills from 7 to 11, and then the Flashbacks playing, of course, at the YO Ranch Friday night. And then it is opening weekend for Bombshells at the VK Garage. I've heard this is going to be a very, very good show. So 7:30 showings on Friday and Saturday, probably a Sunday matinee. Get your tickets for that. And let's see. Then on Saturday, you can kick off your day with the farmers markets. Hillside Harvest Market will be at down at 5 Points at Carlson Law Firm from 8 to 1. And if you take Water Street right into downtown Kerrville, you'll find Heart of the Hills Farmers Market. So great way to support local businesses directly and get all kinds of great little treats for your weekend. Over at Blue Oak Trading on Saturday from 1 to 3, it's Galentine's Day Sip, Create, and Celebrate.
Oh, nice.
Get you ready for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then also Museum of Western Art, they're having their Crafters Day from 2 to 3:30 on the 8th. More live music Saturday night. Live music with Stan Morris. I believe that's at Cafe at the Ridge. Trailhead will have Christopher Lorette play from 6 to 8 on Saturday. Lyle Lovett. I think that's sold out, the Lyle
Yes, it
Lovett
is.
show. So if you're going to go see that,
Yes.
it's going to be an amazing show. That takes the stage at 7 p.m. And then, of course, Bombshells still to check out. And over at the Unity Church on Sunday, they're having an Awakening of the Heart sound and bath meditation. It's a lovely way to start your Sunday. As well as the Fiddle Jam will be going on Sunday here at Pint and Plow from 2 to 4. A lot of great stuff happening.
Hey, and another entrepreneur story, from farmer's market to restaurant, Vecino's Cafe.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yep.
Very good point.
Salsa to
They've gone to,
bricks and mortar.
they've gone where it was concept to brick and mortar.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing to see.
Very, very good point.
We just
as
went
well.
there last week. Was that last week?
I think it was last week.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
They have
selling
such good
their
food,
old
man.
food truck if you want to start your own journey. Something to think about. Get in touch with them. So
If you want to watch a devastating biography or documentary, check out. I think it's on Hulu. Actually, it is on, I think it's on Hulu. It's National Geographic. It's called Sugarcane, and it is about the church abuse scandals related to Native American schools in Canada, and it is one of the most gut-wrenching things you'll ever see. And on top of that, it turns out the NFL, the Saints and the Pelicans of the NBA, helped New Orleans spin their abuse scandals with the churches there. So what a crazy world we live in. Why would they be involved? So I don't understand these things. Oh my gosh, so much going on as well. I do have. I'm gonna let you guys go, all three of you, because good job as always. Because I got to get Jim Motherall on for a minute here. Jim, come on down for a second.
Can I say my? Can I read my piece
spit it
real
out.
quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Securities and investment advisory services offered Next Financial Group, member FINRA SIPC. Texas Hill Country Advisors is not an affiliate of Next. This material is not intended as an offer or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security or other financial instrument. Past performance does not guarantee future performance. All the views expressed are those of Andrew Gain, Gilbert Paiz, and Texas Hill Country Advisors, and not those of Next. The S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index composed of common stocks of 500 leading companies and leading industries of the U.S. economy. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average is a price weighted index of 30 actively traded blue chip
Thank you.
stocks.
All right. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Good
Good
to
job.
see
See you guys.
Goodbye,
We'll see you
Have a
later.
happy week.
boys.
Jim.
What a good segue.
I know Jim Motherall's coming on. Tell us some good news, Jim.
Some great news.
Yeah, hurry up.
It's not good news. It's great.
Great news. All right, Jim. What do you got?
Okay.
You're live. Go.
I'm live.
You're live.
Okay. We've got a launch party coming up this Thursday evening at 6:30. Brew Dogs there on Bandera Highway.
Right.
2262 Bandera Highway, right at the end of the loop. We are promoting something that's coming out that's targeting the body in certain areas, and it's specifically what we call, we can't make the medical terms of things, so we say discomforts, hurts.
Pain. Discomfort. It helps you with discomfort.
Okay, let's do the discomfort.
Yeah.
Now, the original products, the liquid that we have is redox signaling molecules.
Right.
We drink that. 5 years, that was 15 years ago. 5 years later, they came out with the original gel that is broad spectrum. It touches all the cells, all the signaling pathways to the genetic level. And this new stuff is targeting the discomfort of those genetic pathways.
Right.
Totally different things. And we are going to be giving some samples. We're going to be giving out experiences. Bring your discomforts, and we can show you how this works.
How this works. And this is Thursday night at what time?
6:30 in the evening.
6:30 in the evening at Brew Dogs.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Nice.
Good job. Thanks for stopping in for a minute and telling us.
This stuff is amazing.
Just put it on. Soothing gel.
Soothing gel.
All right. Good job. Jim, good to see you.
Good to see y'all too.
All right. Thanks for being here. Leslie, what did you learn today?
I learned about the Grammys.
More
I
than
didn't
you
watch
wanted
it.
to know, huh?
I didn't watch it last night. I was busy. So what did you learn?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Nothing.
Jim, do you learn anything today?
I learned that this stuff not only works on discomforts, it made me dream in lucid
There you
colors and
go.
stuff.
It also helps you dream.
Oh, I might need it then because
Okay.
my dreams are awful. Terrible
Lewis
dreams.
does have really
I have
terrible weird
nightmare
dreams that he shares with everybody.
And I learned that this may be February 3rd, but it doesn't feel like it.
It sure
Right,
doesn't, does
right.
it?
No, exactly. So much going on right now, folks. We appreciate you guys for being here on a Monday. Tomorrow on the show, Julie Davis may be here. She's mad at me because I don't respond to my text message.
You don't respond to her.
I didn't realize that.
He doesn't respond to me sometimes,
I know.
too.
Yeah, Lewis, typically, I think he responds to you in his head.
Yeah.
And he forgets to actually write it down.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get so many, if I get into these group text messages, which I hate,
Yes, I understand.
there'll be 37, one morning I woke up, there was 83 text messages in this group text. And I'm like, how do I get out of this? How do I not?
You have to go back to the originator that created it.
And then ban that person. So anyway, all right. Good job, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great day.
So
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Lewis.